There's so many, so many, so many pieces of what makes up a children's ministry, a whole children's ministry. You know, those of us that are called in to work with kids, we think about the children. Like, what are we going to do? What kind of curriculum are we going to use? What kind of parties are we going to plan? What kind of events are we going to have throughout the year? Those are like the main things. How are we going to reach children for Jesus? How are we going to help them form a future that is purposeful and meaningful and what God has prepared for them? How are we going to do all that? But then, in addition to all of those things that our heart cries out for about the kids, our parent interactions and the other leaders in the church interactions, the pastoral staff interaction, and then your volunteer team. You need to be training them and building relationships with them and recruiting and getting enough volunteers. You need to make sure your supplies are stocked and everything. You need to make sure events are planned for well in advance, a VBS or a children's program, a Christmas program or Easter program, or maybe you do a graduation day and you're trying to figure out what you want to do this year to make that extra special. There's just a lot of pieces. But there's one really, really big piece that I just don't want you to forget about, and that is the piece that is you. Don't forget to take care of you. Don't forget your quiet time with God. Don't forget to have some rest and just sit in His presence and know that He's with you. Don't forget to have some time with your friends. Go out for coffee or tea or lunch or whatever it is that feeds your soul and touches you and refreshes you. Maybe take a week or two off and have time just to do the things that you would like to do around your house or with your family or anything that would bring restoration to you. It's so great to just go, 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 but go, 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 go without ever a stop just doesn't work. And I've run into so many children's ministers through the years that are hurting and tired and worn out and weary, and maybe that's you right now. It's okay to take a breath. It's okay. And you know, if you've been judged harshly or inappropriately or unfairly, it wears down your soul. It just eats at you. And maybe you need to take some time and put a little salve on those wounds and get back connected with the fact that Jesus is there with you. And things don't always go perfect, and things aren't going to go exactly according to plan. And you're never going to live very long in any type of ministry or life for that matter without some hardships and some conflict and some difficulty. And if it just saps you of everything you have in you, you're just not filled up enough. That's all. You just need to stop and get filled up again. And it's something that happens to everybody. So don't beat yourself up about anything like that. Just take a minute. Just take a minute and sit back. Take a minute and rest in His presence. Take a minute and know that if He called you to do this, He's going to help you do it. Take a minute and say, is everything that's on my plate to do and scheduled to do things that He wants me to do? It's an important question to ask, because maybe you've gotten away from your original calling, or maybe you've gotten to where you've put so many extras on that the most important stuff is getting rushed or neglected or feels like a burden when really it's just that you've got too many things on. Maybe you need to delegate a little bit more. Just a thought. But God doesn't want you strained to the limit. He doesn't want you so pulled tight that you're ready to snap at any given moment. It's a hard ministry. It's a full ministry. There's so many things to it that it can really be taxing. And if it is being taxing on you right now, just stop for a minute. Don't quit. Don't run out the back door because something's too hard. Just hit the pause button for a second. Take some breaths, go grab a cup of coffee, maybe a bottle of water. Just take a minute and say, okay, let's get back to putting the first things first. Let's get back to making sure instead of calling everyone with what's difficult, I go to God first. I just sit quietly and pray to Him first. And, you know, maybe He'll give you an answer. Maybe He'll just have this thought just come up from your heart and you're like, ooh, that's a good solution. I wonder where that thought came from. He's not abandoned you. He's not going to abandon you. He's going to be right there with you every step of the way. Whether it's 42 holes in your schedule that you don't know how to fill, or whether it's just a really difficult time with a particular child or a family that is going through something so rough and it's just wearing you down. Whatever it is, take some time. Go back to him. He's just sitting there waiting.